Hello, this is Christian, your instructor, and I want to welcome you to React. This course runs in a condensed format, which means we are compressing a 15-week course into a 5-week course. So you can see the amount of workload you're going to be working in this course. So I want to go over three things with you: the final project, the weekly assignments, and how to submit your assignments. Okay. So first, again, if you are here for the first time, you probably don't see the learning units here until you go into the unit here and submit the syllabus acknowledgement after you read the syllabus. Okay, so go do that first, and then just either copy this blue text here, or you can type it yourself, just saying you understood the requirements, and then put it down here and submit this. Just say OK and OK again. Once you've done that, you should be able to see the learning unit 1 as well as the final project information down here. Okay, so let's take a look at the course schedule really quick. As you can see, it's a 5-week course. We're moving really fast. The average time a student spends each week is anywhere between 8 to 10 hours, sometimes 15 hours or around that range, depending on how much you know or what you already know. Okay, so expect that from this course. Okay, so let's go over here to the learning unit. Inside the learning unit here, you're going to go and have 3 folders. You see 3 folders here. Prepare is really where your reading materials are, like lecture notes. If I have any additional lecture notes to be posted here, videos covering the topics in this class or this unit, showing you some demos as well as some other concepts in this class. The apply folder. This is where you will submit your assignments. Anything here in red are the actual links to the project or assignments submission. And so for week 1, we're just going to have 1 assignment. Okay. So you're going to create 2 components called nav and footer. You follow the instructions here. You're going to also add a Bootstrap theme to your program, and you're going to use that throughout the entire course. And then you also need to take screenshots of your code and the results page when you run the application, and save those into a Word document and submit this along with your source code. The reason why I do this is because it helps me to grade your program much quicker. I can look at the code very quickly and see the results, and also to make sure that it's working on your end, right? Otherwise, I won't be able to help you also. So it helps me a lot this way. And if there's any particular errors, I can go back and run your code locally as well. The submission for every assignment, as you can see, I ask you here to only include these files or folders or also, right? And the package JSON, the SRC or the source folder, and a public folder. Okay, I showed you here an example down here as well. This is usually what you see in the program. So for example, here is the Flight app you're going to create. Expand that, you will see these folders and files. I just need you to include these package.json, the lock if you have it. If you don't have it, that's okay. Usually you will have it. The SRC folder in its entirety, and the entire public folder. And so again, do not include the no modules folder. Why? Because it's so huge. If you expand, you see that it has a ton of programs in here. Okay. So I don't need those because I will get those from your package.json file. That's why we need these 2 files here. And if you look inside the SRC folder, you're going to see all these apps files here. Of course, I have more stuff in here already, but each week when you come and you do your assignments, you're going to modify your existing files. So that means because we're building on what's already created, you're going to lose a lot of the content in the prior week. So to do that, to prevent that from happening, you need to make a copy of your previous assignments. Okay, if you know source control, like GitHub, things like that, if you're good with that, by all means use that. Otherwise, the easier way to do is just basically to copy your public folder, SRC, and the package files and put into another directory. So for example, I want to copy this week's assignment. Once I'm done, then you can go into your Flight folder here, either inside here or outside, doesn't matter, and just click another folder. Maybe I'll call it Unit 1, right? And so the Unit 1 folder, yeah, maybe I shouldn't create inside here. I want to create outside outside. Let me do it again. It doesn't matter. You can leave it here. It's okay too, but I'm going to put outside. So go here and just don't select the folder and click, call it unit 1. So these will be your backups. And then inside your flight app folder, you just basically select the public. It's kind of hard to do it. Just click it again and then shift click or control click the SRC and the package JSONs and then copy those, right? Control C to copy and then paste it right back in here. So now you have a copy of your work in here. And so when you start working this flight app application, you still have something, you have it saved in the folder 1 here. And then you do something for unit 2. Next week when you're done with the unit 2, create another folder and then copy what you have inside that folder. Now again, don't copy the node modules folder. Why? Because you can render those again. And I'll show you what that means. So if I go to unit 1 and right click on it, open the terminal, and I'm inside the unit 1 folder, you'll see that I have access to the package.json file. This file contains the metadata that I need to create or to recreate this application. That's what this dependencies means, right? I'm gonna create all of these again, install all of these again when I run a command in the terminal. The lock file, this one here, is a metadata for all the apps, for all the modules already existing inside the nodes module. Okay, so when you add more data to your program, it's going to update both of these files automatically for you. So with that in mind, I can now say in the terminal, let me clear this. I can just do npm install. That's all you do. Install will run, will look inside the package.json file, and then look inside here. Okay, look at the dependencies property and install all of these programs for you. Now, these programs by themselves will have their own dependencies as well, so they will grow a lot, and that's why your node modules grows huge. So when I click enter, it's going to install everything that I need to run here. I'm going to cancel it because it's going to be a huge file. So that's why when you distribute your application, that's all you need. And you can see that inside the unit 1, it created a node modules folder. If I expand that, you see that it's already starting to install some of this stuff already. Okay, so that's why we just need the package file. So again, just make a copy, and then again, don't do this, but if you need to run it, that's what you need to do. And once you're ready, just click here and then submit your work as instructed. You're gonna upload your files to this submission link. Okay, so that's how you submit your assignments every week. Now let's talk about the final project. So here I said that you can build your own app if you want to. In this course, you're going to build an app called Flight App here. And the assignments for each unit will actually be building this app. So by the end of the course, you're going to have a fully functional application in React. And if you want to see what the result looks like, I have a demo here to show the final version, both in React and Angular. And if you click on this, it may take a while to load if you run for the first time, because it's on the Heroku server, so it needs to actually render and run that. But you can see here React has the React logo, and this is the landing page of the application, the about page here. Notice also when I click on the link, the page does not refresh, does not reload, right? Things change here, the URL changes, but the page does not reload. Okay, it loads very smoothly, and that's what you want to do. This is a single page application, and the data you see here are actual data, not coming from a remote server, by the way. I just didn't want to do that because when you delete data, you're actually deleting permanent data from a database, so I didn't want to do that here. But for your final project in the last week of course, you're going to actually load actual live data from a server which I provide. Right? So I can go ahead and delete these as I please. I can also edit them, right? And if you make changes, if you also do validation as well, as you can see, and things like that. If you want to delete all of them, okay, when they're all gone, If you navigate around, you see that data are gone. Because this is not a live data from a permanent store, you can just refresh it and then everything comes back again. So you can kind of see what the data look like. Okay, takes a while here. Let me go back to home page and then refresh that maybe. But it should restore the data back again once it's functional. And the other one here is the Angular. As you can see, it looks identical. Okay, they don't change much other than a little bit in the scale. But you can see it looks just like the other one. Works seamlessly. And that's what you're going to build. Okay, the React version of it. And if you want to choose your own app, you can also do that. If you have an idea of what an app, what you want to build, then you just have to let me know, and just make sure that the requirements are met. So if I asked you to build a form for your app, then you should have a form in there, right? I don't want a simple form like just 1 or 2 fields. It should be, enough to have at least like 4 or 5 fields in there just to make sure you gain the most experience out of this class. Okay, and if you're not sure, then just let me know. So that's an option. Okay, so that's all I want to talk about in this video. So if you have any questions, please do let me know early on. Do not wait until the day it's due or the last week of class and to try to get everything in. Chances are you're not gonna be able to, right? Early is better, and if you need help, reach out. Best way to reach me is via email. If you need a one-on-one meeting via Zoom, we can also do that as well. So the best way is to communicate with me, okay?